Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to talk today about using technology, and indeed affordable technology, in Christian ministry. And I'm going to share with you some things today which I've shared on my other platforms, on my blogs in particular, about the work I've been doing over many years with a neighbour who lives down the road, Rob Ferguson, who was a Church of Christ minister that used to be at the local church that we used to go to, and we've been friends for a long time. And I'm just going to share a little bit about what he's been doing and show you some examples of what we have done over the years and some links to some work that we've done in the past. And this is a behind the scenes look of what actually goes on to produce the material that he's been producing. So anyway, I'm going to read from the screen here, so I'll be looking away from the camera a bit, so you just have to bear with me. So I first met Rob Ferguson when he was pastor at our church, the Edwardstown Church of Christ, back in the 1980s. So Rob, after some years, decided to start up some missionary work of his own, reaching out with mentoring and training in various countries. This work, which he called the Tree of Life Ministries, is now centred in Africa. He did start off exploring other continents as well before he settled on Africa. I'll put links underneath this video to where he and I first started to collaborate in this venture. Rob visited Africa on several occasions and established teams of Christians who were willing and able to learn how to minister and reach out to their fellow countrymen. He has worked with people in Tanzania. That's how you pronounce it. It used to be Tanganyika in my day. Tanzania, Kenya and Burundi. Rob virtually lives just down the road from us, and we have had many informal chats over cups of his homemade coffee. And we have a little studio out the back of his house that we produce the videos I'm going to share with you afterwards. Former Christian friends from church days have supported him in his work over the years. He derived his post-church income when he stopped being a pastor in a church. He decided to drive taxis and then buses to keep his income going. Well, he produced lots of brilliant training material charts and the like, including a wonderful work on understanding the Bible, which he wrote himself, authored himself. Rob has the Christian gift of teaching amongst other gifts. He's a brilliant teacher. He wanted to use the training material called Christianity Explained, which you might have heard of, and got permission from the author to produce some videos on how to use this. In fact, he even got permission to translate it into another language, into Burundi, I think, later on. Anyway, this is where I got involved as a keen photographer and videographer when he was wanting to do some training material on how to teach Christianity Explained to people in villages in Africa. And so that's where I got involved to help him. And I believe in using my camera for God. I've always had that philosophy as part of my whole reason for being a photographer, apart from the fact I enjoy it so much and I like to do photography. I used to do a lot of weddings, of course. We did a training DVD video on Christianity Explained using my Canon XL1 Mini DV camcorder, which I still have. You'll see some pictures of that later on. And then as we progressed in these activities, we tried other camcorders and APS-C digital SLRs. Rob invested in lighting and microphones, as well as some terrific Canon in particular cameras like the 80D, I think it was. As a YouTuber, now, and this is getting back to me, as a YouTuber, I've long been using Apple laptops, minis, and the iMac, which is what I'm looking at and reading this off of. Most of my equipment is quite ancient. I don't keep up to date with the latest and greatest, but I still use them all, or most of it anyway. So as I've been mainly using my iPhone for YouTube presentations and iMovie for video editing, we tried that combination probably about a year ago, and that has worked well. And Rob sold most of the equipment he had brought earlier. So we have discovered, as many YouTubers already have, you don't have all the latest gear to produce very usable training videos. So how do guys living in Africa, often not without good Wi-Fi areas, utilise this material? They all have mobile phones. They can access these videos by YouTube, but when they can't get access to Wi-Fi, we took a leaf out of what earlier missionaries did in places like Africa back in the 70s. They provided teaching on cassette recorders with wind-up non-battery operated cassette players. And I thought, well, let's take that idea a bit further. And what we are doing is not the same as that, but we utilise some modern technology to get around the no Wi-Fi problem. In fact, that's improving now because there are different satellite systems that those people can hook onto and get Wi-Fi out in the jungle. So now I'm just going to show you what can be done with Rob's permission using very basic equipment. Some churches you go into these days have TV and recording studios far better than commercial stations. I've been in some of them and I've seen a lot of them online, but they're not needed really. It's a lot of overkill. It's really more aimed at razzle-dazzle worship services, that sort of stuff. Many churches are missing out on presenting the gospel to people and ministering and equipping them to go forward. Although, of course, many people have got their services online now and they're at various stages of professionalism, but they're all good whichever way they go about it, because at least they're trying to get out to the wider world and their congregation. Many of the people in Rob's program in Africa are having worship in homes and church meetings, even church meetings under a tree sometimes. And these guys ride on motorbikes out into the villages, and there's been some amazing stories that Rob has shared with myself and other people who've supported his ministry over the years, and it's still ongoing. So sit back and watch what unfolds. You'll see some samples of what we've been doing lately and some photos from the past of the equipment we were using and things like that. So this is just a shout out to say, well, if you're a Christian, you can use your camera for God and you don't really need a lot of equipment to do it. And you maybe you want to team up with someone who's doing something like what Rob does. So thanks for watching, but keep on watching. There's a lot more to come. I'm going to try and edit it down so it's not too long. So keep on watching.
Hi, this is the first of 3 videos that introduce the 3 stages of mission. The other ones are a flow chart and the other one is the strategy. This one is the overview. Now you got here perhaps from a USB drive which you've plugged into your computer or phone, or you got there from the Tree of Life website page and you've clicked onto 3 stages of mission introduction link, and this is what you opened up. You opened up an introduction with the 3 aspects of that introduction. The overview gave you the big picture of the mission of Christ. The flow chart gives you the process involved in doing the 3 stages of mission or the mission of Christ, and the strategy tells you how to go about the job. But today...
Now it's recording. Okay, come on. I'll give you a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, now we've come to the third... Sorry.
Keep going. Start again.
Hi, now we've come to the third video ending interest... No.
So we can start
Hi.
again. Start again now.
Alright. Hi, we are still in the 3 stages of mission introduction, but we have now come to the third video, which is strategy. Our previous videos that helped to introduce the 3 stages of mission were the overview, gave us a big picture, the flow chart that gave us the process of doing the mission of Christ, and now the strategy. How do we go about doing the job? Well, good strategy means that We know, you know what needs to be done. Know what needs to be done. Needs doing. And the second part of good strategy is have the right people for the job. For the job. Now, we have learned and we've come to know what the task is. We know the what. What was it, the task? 1, make disciples. Establish disciples. 2, 3, sustain and grow disciples. But what about the people? What about the workers? That's it.
Okay, so that's that 3 minutes that we missed out.
Yeah,
before.
that's right.
Oh, that's great. That's good. You did well.
Christ came into the world to save sinners. That was his primary purpose. For this reason I came, he said. And he said of himself that he came to seek and to save the lost. God sent him into the world to do everything necessary for our salvation and then to freely give it to us. Offer it freely as a gift. He came and told you the good news of Jesus Christ, and an evangelist urged you to ask the Lord for his salvation, and you did. Now, we are the ones who can take it to our generation, and we can take it to the nations of our world. We are continuing the tradition. And so the third thing is that our mission is also a saving mission. Now, this is the iPhone. The connector for the iPhone between your USB and the iPhone is this. Got no cable to it, just a little adapter plug. We plug that in at the bottom, and then we plug in the USB into that. Okay, now we go back, and that's the screen that we get in the iPhone, and we go to the files. Click on the files, and what do we get up here? The TSOM folders, 3 folders. Let's look at that. What have we got here? Exactly what we're after. The introduction and overview. Might turn this on its side again. That's better. What do we have? We've got the main heading. You can refer to your chart. There it is. Introduction and overview. And then we've got the strategy. Now, let's go back there to the folders. Oh no, sorry. A cut. Just wipe all that off before.
Oh, well, start again. You want to start again?
Yeah.